r/AmItheAsshole. Aware_flounder6006 says, AITA for telling my friend that I have a crush on her boyfriend. So my good friend and I are usually very close. We are both in our late 20s now, but we've known each other since high school. In all those years, our friendship has never been that rocky until recently. My friend and her boyfriend met about 6 months ago. I'm currently in grad school and have chosen to remain single. Before they met, my friend and I would hang out at her place when I was done with classes because she lives close by. But about 4 months ago, the dynamic started to shift to a trio when her boyfriend started to consistently hang out with us. My friend had shown me pictures of him, and I always thought he was attractive, but the crush started developing when I met him in person. I won't go into too much detail, but my friend's boyfriend, who I would consider to be a friend now, is honestly so fun to be around, and I always looked forward to hanging out with him after class. Aside from looks, and he's probably the most beautiful man I've ever seen in person, he's really knowledgeable and is a great conversationalist. He's a good storyteller and has a good sense of humor. He's super kind and always checks in with me and seems to know the right words to say to make me feel appreciated. It sounds tropey, but I honestly can't detect anything wrong with him. Which is even more infuriating for me, because I actually don't want to have this crush or think about him in a romantic way. Last week, he went to visit family so hasn't been around. Last Friday, my friend wanted to know what I thought about him because they were thinking of moving in together. I basically gave her a rundown similar to the last paragraph, and this prompted her to say it sounded like I had a crush on him. She said it in a joking way, so I sort of just laughed it off. But then I just sort of blurted out that I honestly think I do have a crush on him. It got super awkward when I said that, and I immediately felt like I screwed up. I tried to downplay it by saying that it was probably just hormones and me being single, and basically tried to play it off as a joke. Fast forward to Monday, when her boyfriend came home. My friend sent me this text. It's verbatim, hey / my name. Going forward I think I need to set some boundaries because I don't want / his name to become an issue with us. I think from now on we should just hang out on the weekends, just the two of us, if that's okay. It would make me feel better. Call me and we can talk about it more. Love you lots. My usual routine on Mondays was to go hang out with her after my lecture, so I felt kind of blindsided by this. I have not reached out to her since her text. I'm a bit angry with her because I feel like she's implying that she can't trust me around him, and now she's depriving me of a genuine friendship that has grown between me and him. But I also want to know if this is something that is entirely my fault. So kind people of Reddit, AITA. Cranberry says, AITA. Time to apologize for crossing a line and assure her you would never act on it, up, down and sideways, and mean it. Also, don't push back on her request to limit contact with him for a while. It's totally understandable that she's not comfortable with that under the circumstances. Derpaza1 says, Op's friend is handling it with such grace. I really admire that. Op, you need to apologize and show grace too. I'm not here 45,648 says, honestly, Op's friend is doing Op a favor. She handled it really well, and she proposed the best course of action that would resolve the situation. I think limiting contact could be the best way for Op to get over her crush, and she should jump on it. Joan Clayton-esque says, what did you think would happen? Not everything needs to be shared, and it's definitely not appropriate to tell your friend you have a crush on their partner. You can't be this obtuse. Of course it's a here. KJulert says, I'm honestly baffled by Op. Did she think her friend would say okay, we can share him? How could this possibly have had a positive outcome? AITA. Conscious Sentence 80 says, right. Maybe she's someone who blurts things out when nervous. IDK but agreed. AITA, Opus. Bad Mama Gemma says, AITA, in my opinion, you disrespected your friendship and her relationship by being so casual about your feelings which, purely based on how you've written about them, seem to cross a line. Whether or not you, or he, genuinely think these feelings can evolve into something more, it's insensitive not to think about your friend. For the record, the fact that she responded as well as she has, and is trying to maintain both her relationship with you and her relationship with him means she's both a good friend and partner. It's unfair for you to be angry at her for protecting two relationships that are important to her. VIV says, I applaud the friend for being so mature in her response. Breath of fresh air on this sub. r/AmItheAsshole. Jcullen85 says, AITA for telling my dad he is not my biggest priority. I, 37F, have a work from home position. Today, I was particularly swamped with work. While working, my dad knocks on my door to help him with an email. I rushed and got it done. 20 minutes later, I was in a meeting when he came knocking again. I said I couldn't help at the moment. He said something, but I wasn't paying attention to him. The meeting ended, and it took me over 2 hours to catch up on my work. By the time I was done, he had gone out. I used my lunch hour to pick up my daughter from school. When we got home, my dad was home. He started questioning why I didn't let him know I was done with my meeting. I pointed out that I had work to do. He complained that he needed another email sent. My father has a long history of treating more like a maid and secretary than his own daughter. Frustrated and a bit hangry, I snapped and said that I get paid to send emails for work. Sending emails for him isn't more important than my actual job. He said that he's my father and I should understand that he needs my help. I exhaled and said then he should learn to do these things for himself. He countered with some BS line, and I left the conversation with he isn't my biggest priority. Keeping my job and being a mother is. So, AITA? Bondful says, NTA. If he came to your company's office to have you do his chores, everyone would see why that's inappropriate and not done. Your home office needs to have the same boundaries. Deblus says, NTA you have a job, you have a child, you don't need to be taking care of your father's emails. If he wants you help, he should let you know and realize he'll get your help when you've taken care of your other responsibilities and have time to help him. Irish_Finer says, NTA. Can you go to a cafe for part of the day, like before you pick up your daughter, or even the whole day, to remove yourself from the house and situation? Jcullen85 says, that's a great idea. Thank you for that. Boss, Bezach, Works says, NTA. I had not realized that weaponized incompetence was being used by fathers with their daughters. I'll learn today. Tampons are evil says, NTA the fact that your dad thinks that his emails are more important than your job is ridiculous. Desert Boots says, weaponized incompetence. NTA. Would he have come to your office? Would he do this to his father? Sign dad up for classes at the local college or senior center. Put a sign on your door when you are at work that says no knocking. Expert Aardvark7419 says, NTA. You are absolutely correct about where your priorities should be. Federal Rutabaga 267 says, NTA. Mossy Storm says, NTA, if he's expecting you to send his emails and treats you like a maid/secretary, he's probably using weaponized incompetence to get what he wants. Your own life and your kid always comes first. The Foxrunt official says, NTA. Is he your father, an adult or a child? Sending emails isn't hard, plus you're not being paid to be his secretary. He should learn how to do it on his own, and he probably know how to. He's likely just lazy AF. I'm genuinely annoyed for you, Opus. That's all for this video. Was it good? I know not, for I'm a robot. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This video is the product of an automated process.